Hey everybody, Brock Frady here, helping you enjoy your ride. In today's video, we're going to take an in-depth look at this 2024 Cadillac CT5-V Blackwing. Now there's something to say about this vehicle. In my opinion, it is the most bang for the buck that you can possibly imagine on the market today, especially if you are a V8 aficionado. If you want a manual, this is where it's at. 6-speed manual transmission. If you want a big burly monster V8 that growls, this is where it is. If you want a supercharger, this is where it is. If you want a car that is right at $100,000 that will give you almost 700 horsepower and enough torque to pull out your fillings in your teeth, this is the one. In my opinion, again, this is the most bang for the buck that you can possibly buy in the market today. And in this video, I'm going to show you why all of that is true. But before we get started, I want to say a huge thank you to Impex Auto Sales in Greensboro, North Carolina for the opportunity to film this Cadillac. You can check out all of their contact information, including their website, in the description box below. I've had this car for a total of 3 days, and I cannot believe that I did not know what this thing was capable of before this video. Just like all of you, I've done a lot of research. I've seen all the videos, and you know, car and driver just absolutely fanboys over this thing. It's like 10 out of 10 in their ratings, and everybody loves this car. But I had no idea why everybody was so in love with this thing, because honestly, just judging a book by its cover, yes, it looks cool, but it doesn't look all that fantastic. It just looks like a Cadillac. It does look like it's got some performance touches on it, but good gosh, when you get behind the wheel of this thing, it's like unbelievably fast, unbelievably powerful. It communicates so well. You know exactly where you are, it goes where you want it to go, and it sits so low, it's so sticky. So starting up front, you can see by the look, the badging, the grill, all of that stuff, that it's, you know, it's going to be something a little bit more than just the average CT5, especially when you see this carbon fiber here. But then when you bend down a little bit lower and you start to see radiators east to west, north to south, they are everywhere. You can see a radiator behind the diffuser there, behind the diffuser there, and there, and there. You know that this car, the engine, has to be cooled big time. And that's because under the hood is a 6-liter V8 that produces 668 horsepower. And just like Mercedes-Benz AMG engines, this one has a handcrafted by Brett Gilbert badge on it. And you can tell that it's special because it's got that big stabilizer bar there across the top of the engine. And it's not turbocharged. It doesn't produce all of this horsepower but via a twin turbo V6 or a hybrid drive system or anything like that. This is a straight up supercharged 6-liter V8, and it'll do 11s in the quarter mile from the factory. And that's what I absolutely love about it. You can see the big V emblem here. You can even see a special little thing there on the breather box. You can see the V emblem right there on the cross member. My goodness gracious. Now I mentioned that carbon fiber. This is the namesake of the vehicle itself. The black carbon fiber wing on the rear trunk, and then you even have carbon fiber down here by the diffuser all the way across. It's pretty cool because that is your reverse light, and then you have your V Blackwing badging here, and of course your CT5 badging right here on the left side. I love the lights and how everything just looks so well put together and so fluid. The wheels are, of course, an upgrade from a regular CT5 wheel, but they're not too flashy. And the nice thing about these is that they're actually 19s. They're not gigantic 21, 22-inch wheels. Cadillac is not joining in the competition of a big wheel thing. It's just functional. Also notice that this one does not, unfortunately, have the drilled rotor package, the carbon ceramic rotors. You know, that's going to save you money. However, with these that are just solid rotors, that's going to increase brake fade on track day, where if you have the drilled carbon ceramic brake upgrade, you're going to be able to stay away from that brake fade. Also, another cool thing is the fact that all of the keys are red on the CT5-V Blackwing. And you can see there, it's kind of cool that the car is blue, but the key is red. And the reason for that is because it matches the brake calipers. On the CT4 Blackwing, it's opposite. The key is blue and the brake calipers are blue. But on the big boy CT5, red calipers, red key. Another neat thing is that there is just more carbon fiber on the interior of the rear door. But then look at this. Carbon fiber all over the seat back. I just think that's kind of overdone, but that's incredible. That is a lot of carbon fiber. And then you have the V right there on the top left. But is that not just a sexy looking sporty driver's seat? I also love all of the stitching, the differing color of the seat belts, this kind of peanut butter colored leather on the inside. And you know, you've got your contrast stitching here, piping up around the headrest, another V embellishment there on the seats. And this is, of course, a 5-passenger vehicle, although in the back seat, you're probably not going to be all that comfortable. But then the driver's seat, the bolstering is absolutely fabulous. A quilted look there at the top across your shoulders. And then, of course, carbon fiber all there. And V embellishing there on the headrest. And I think these seats are like 18-way power adjustable, massaging, and all of that stuff. Heated and ventilated, of course. Interesting, I found another piece of little carbon fiber right here, but on the right side of this carbon fiber is a little sticker, and it's in recognition of celebrating 20 years of the V cars, the performance engines in Cadillacs. You know, the longer that I look at it, the more distinctive that I do believe this is from a regular CT5, especially if you just kind of know what you're looking at. It's just a good looking vehicle. It's not too overstated though, and I do love how on the inside it's absolutely luxurious. I'm pretty surprised at how small the trunk is. Domestic cars are renowned for knowing how many bodies you can put in the trunk. They've always been absolutely massive. The trunk in this thing is really, actually pretty small. On the left side here is going to be your battery, and that obviously is for weight distribution. Putting that weight back here distributes the weight better, making it more sticky, more trackable. But yeah, pretty small trunk. Another cool feature about it, that is your rear view mirror. What in the world do I mean by that? Whenever you look out your rear view mirror, the view of it is from the camera that's in that shark fin right there. That's a pretty cool little touch. A lot of cars are doing that nowadays, but it's actually a camera live view that you see out of your rear view mirror right there. Another interesting thing that you have here is the fact that this looks like glass, but it is not. There's glass here, but there's no glass here, and that actually adds to the kind of slingshot windswept look of the exterior of the CT5. So here's the manual transmission. As I said, it's a 6-speed. You can see that there's a little bit of a funky configuration right here. Reverse is up in the top right, but there's like this medallion right here And that's pretty cool, I guess. But it has incredibly short shifting. Check out all this carbon fiber, rev matching. You have drive modes right here. So I'm gonna put my foot on the clutch, foot on the brake. I have the key on me. Oh my goodness gracious, yes. Then you see this special little designation right here. This, you would think it would be like the number 86 of 752. That's not what it is at all. This is actually the model designation, and then this is the last 3 of the VIN number. I don't know why they did that, but that is what it is. There's the V badge there, carbon fiber. This thing has like $6,000 worth of carbon fiber all over it. Wait till you see this backs of the seats. It's so crazy. Then you have a V button right here, and this allows you to go into V mode. So whenever you press this, everything here turns all cool. You could hear the engine accents go completely different. Then you can see right here, steering, suspension, engine, brake feel, and engine sound, and PTM, so that's track management. And so whenever you switch into this mode, the attitude of the car completely changes. And you can see right here, everything is all red. Of course, I still have the hood open. Oh my gosh. Is that not unbelievable? It's just, I don't know what to say anymore. Now, on the inside of the CT5-V Blackwing, it's a little bit confusing. The reason is because the luxury performance touches are either fantastically over the top, or they're really base. Let me show you what I mean by that. An example of fantastically, wonderfully over the top is carbon fiber, Alcantara, leather with beautiful red stitching, AKG stereo system, which is actually an upgrade over the Bose stereo system. Isn't that wonderful? And then you even have contrast stitching on the Alcantara portion here. So you would think, based on the interior of this door, that when you look at the dash, it's going to be just as sexy, right? Not really. Look at these buttons. These buttons are, you know, out of a regular CT5, okay, I get it, but at least kind of make them a little bit, you know, more in line with carbon fiber, Alcantara, contrast stitching, stereo upgrade. Not really that great. And then the steering wheel. Yes, the steering wheel, it is a performance wheel. It'd be nice if this were like a type of an Alcantara and had some red stitching, or maybe even some blue stitching to match the exterior of the vehicle. I mean, if you're going to put carbon fiber on it, you know, you might want to gussy it up a little bit. I do like the way the Cadillac emblem is here, and then the carbon fiber drip is right here. That's all absolutely wonderful. But then all of that goes away when you do this. Oh, she is just a thing of beauty. And then there's another thing that I think could use an upgrade here, and it's the infotainment system here. It's a decent sized screen, and it's okay. The, you know, the way the graphics are that's fine. That's fine. But then when you go to the nav system, it kind of takes a back seat. It's like, you know, 2015. That's not very nice. Whenever you swipe though, and this one even still has the sticker on it, so there's that, but you know, everything is still really nice. One of the cool things that this car does have that I've never actually seen in another vehicle is video recorder. So whenever you know, sound vision recorder, you can actually record what the camera sees on track day. And you have a slot right here, so you can put your SD card here, and then you can actually record. So whenever you're tracking it, you can say, well, I needed to take that apex faster, or I needed to lean in here or push here or whatever. I don't really know what I'm talking about, so I'm sure you guys will correct me in the comment section. But I think this could actually use a little bit of an upgrade. The thing that I do like is the fact that it does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That's nice, so we'll give it that. Another thing are the stalks here. They just feel like they should be in a Silverado and not in a $100,000+, 600 horse, almost 700 horsepower performance Cadillac sedan. I do really appreciate the digital cluster right here. This is absolutely fabulous. So when you get in the vehicle and you start it up, and this is the regular mode that, you know, you're just going to drive it in, one of the things that you're going to see is right here. You can see that you have a V performance layout right there. And then over here on the right side of the steering wheel, you can roll that up and down, and you can see you've got lap timer, your G-force indicator, launch control, performance timer, all those things. Then I can press right on that. Then there's driver assistance, audio, navigation, phone, and oil stuff. So there you go. And then back here is where you can go to all of your different options to kind of customize the display. And then when you take a look here, hanging from the steering wheel, there is a V button, and then there's a switch right here on the right side. So when you press the V button, the exhaust just got throatier, just got deeper, and you can see the transition where you have it here right now. You can personalize this mode by choosing the display's layout and info tiles, and so you can choose all kinds of different things right there. And there's options, and all the way back here, info tiles. So you can go here and you can see all the different things that you can customize all right there. But it goes into a big configuration with your tachometer and your speedometer right there, big and bold, front and center. And then there is the matter of the heads-up display. I really like the way that looks. You can see right now it has the tachometer kind of featured right there. My gosh, that is just gorgeous. And there's so few cars where you can actually do that, because it has a rev limiter, and it'll just hang, and you can't really rev it. But in this one, oh baby, that is just glorious. So then that's the V button. And then right here, whenever you do this switch, it's an enhanced kind of like a traction control mode. And so you can flip this up and down with your thumb. And when you do that, you have wet, dry, sport, race 1, and race 2, which are configurable. So when you go to sport, it deactivates traction control and things like that. Then you go to dry, still deactivated, wet, and then inactive, that is the standard mode, and it you know, traction control and everything now are active. I'm just so enthralled by the fact that this thing does not have a rev limiter whenever you're in park or in neutral, sorry. Listen to this. But I did find out that it does actually limit it at about 4,300 RPM. It's just so big and so bold and beefy and loud that even at 44,000 RPM, it just still sounds unbelievably amazing. And did you hear it reflecting, the sound reflecting off of the building there? Oh my gosh, just how cool is that? Driving the 2024 CT5-V Blackwing, it all comes down to this, what we're doing right now. And this little button changes it all. So when you push that, it puts it into V mode, and I have the rev match on. And it's just that easy. It's just too easy. We're in 6th gear right now, and you can see here on the dash that I am in 6th gear, and the 6 is in yellow, which means I have rev match active. You can probably hear it when I downshift to 5th. Fourth, back to 5th. Oh, what an experience. And there is no baffling. There is no fake, you know, it coming in through the sound system or anything like that. This is all real. This is all 100% USDA verified, certified V8 supercharging, and at its absolute finest. This is why I love this vehicle so much, is because it's one of the last V8s that you can buy. Here's a little rev match. Another thing about this vehicle that is not the best in the world is the fact that it is so fuel inefficient. I'm telling you, I have been driving this thing just today, just for maybe 20 minutes. And I started off with like 90 something miles. And I haven't been pushing it real hard. In fact, going to my filming location and all that, it's just super average driving. But I started at almost 100 miles left on the tank. Now I have 75 miles left on the tank, and it just, I mean, you can almost watch it just drop. It is crazy how thirsty this thing is. And but hey, that's the price you pay, I guess. As I mentioned in the walk around, the suspension system is so, it communicates so well. I would like the steering to be a little bit more stiff. Right now it is actually adjusted to the stiffest position in the V mode. I would like it to be a little bit more rugged, more stiff feeling. You can flat shift in this, which means you can leave your foot on the accelerator during shifting, and it makes the shifting a little bit more fast. Combining that with the downshift rev match, and you're just going places really, really fast. I love it so much. One of the odd things about it, this is just kind of a quirky little thing, is that the steering, I mean the turn signal stalk and the headlight stalk, when you're operating the vehicle, they feel like they're so far away from you. I've got pretty big hands, and I have to reach kind of far for them. It's weird how far they are, the distance, you know. I would like to drive this in a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's slightly faster 0 to 60, but I would like to feel paddle shifters in this and feel how quickly it responds to paddle shifting as well. Oh, it's so addictive. And when you start to articulate the gears 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you kind of feel like you and the vehicle are talking to each other, and you're doing what it wants to do and it's doing what you want it to do, and there's just this relationship there when you're behind the wheel of this thing, and you can push it on a straightaway, you can push it hard in curves. It doesn't matter. You can just push it all the time because it's got the suspension for you to be able to push it, and it also has the gigantic engine for you to be able to push it hard, and the response is unbelievable. Right now I'm in 4th gear, and there is still so much torque. Gosh, it's a glorious thing. By the way, the seat bolsters, the seats feel absolutely wonderful. I've not messed with the massaging function of the seats, but I understand it has that. The seats are also heated and ventilated. Seems like a weird thing to bring that up, but in a lot of high performance vehicles at this level, They don't even have heated seats, and I understand why. It's just whatever, but this thing has it all. And the bolstering in the seats, very, very nice. The quilting, the seats feel really, really good. And when you're throwing it around in some curves and everything, you can actually stay put. You can stay nice and upright. You're not being slung around because the bolstering is very supportive. That's all super, super good. I would like the steering wheel to be a little bit more beefy, to have more of a, you know, performance sports car look to it. It just looks like they've done a little bit to it, but not put that much effort into it. Remember the last time I enjoyed driving a car where it was so fun to run through the gears, to where you just felt it. I mean, it's luxuriously visceral. It's hardcore. It's you know, just get after it, but it feels luxurious at the same time, and that is such a wonderful combination. It is just glorious. I like the heads-up display where you can see your tachometer and everything. All of that is nice and clear. You can see what gear you're in. It's nice to not have to take your eyes off the road in order to see where you are, what you're doing, all of those things. Of course, like I've said before, it's so this car is so emotional that you don't really need a tachometer or a speedometer. You just know you're going fast, and you know it's nice and loud, but it's well mannered. The ride control in this thing is really, really good too, because you know you're going to want to drive it mostly, I would imagine, in V mode, to where it's nice and, you know, loud and boisterous and everything. But once you take it out of V mode and the suspension softens up a little, the steering loosens, and the accelerator, you know, has a little bit more pillowy feel to it. It's nice. I mean, it's suitable. I was driving a AMG, a E60 or a C63 AMG. Gosh, I don't know what it was. It was a couple of weeks ago, and that one, even when you took it out of all the sport modes and everything, it was still would beat you up. This one, not so much. It's nice. It's a special machine, I'm telling you. It is a special machine. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for our detailed look at one of my favorite vehicles of all time, the 2024 CT5-V Blackwing. It is an incredible machine that I just am in love with, a factory monster that you will love also. Again, thank you to Impex Auto Sales for the opportunity to film this monster. Be sure to check them out on the worldwide internet machine. But remember, the most important thing of all, have a wonderful day, everybody.